What's up, guys? Today we're just continuing our little series where I am giving you guys some feedback on your pest control websites. If you're wondering who I am, of course, my name is Griffin Thomas. I'm the owner of the company Preferred Pest Management in the Dallas, Texas area. We've been in business for right at 3 years now, going into year 4 now. And on this channel, I just document, my overall entrepreneurial journey. It's not just pest control specifically, but right now we are in the, focus of growing our pest control business. If you don't know my story with the pest control business, I started my business in 2020 and I grew that company to a 6-figure company our first year in business, and just posted an update on my YouTube channel because I hadn't posted in like a year roughly, and that video took off, has like 8,000 views or something like that now. A lot of you guys, follow the channel because of it, so I figured, hey, apparently there's a lot of you who are looking to start and grow pest control business as well, or maybe even just looking for an overall business idea for something that you may want to get into that maybe you never considered before. There's a lot of money in the pest control industry, wildlife side of things, termite, all that good stuff. If you play your cards right and know how to, run a business and all that type of stuff, and that's what we're here for. So if you haven't already, of course, subscribe, hit the bell icon, all that good stuff. If you prefer audio form, by the way, we do have a podcast as well. It's in my LinkTree, which should be in the description box below this video. But with that, we'll just go ahead and hop right in. Today's website we are looking at is Endeavor Pest Management. They are also a Texas-based company. A lot of you from Texas, I notice, follow the channel. And first and foremost, just to hop right in, again, another website that is laid out very nicely. I like that whenever I first pulled up the actual homepage, it had a little pop-up here about, get your free estimate. You have your, anti-scammer robot deal down here as well. Very straightforward, the information that you have to have. I like this setup as well. We have this setup as well as, of course, our, instant quote where they can get their own quote as well without having to call us and all that. But we have switched to a form very similar to this because we notice a much higher response rate and closing rate overall with this basic type of form. And that's another topic for another day with our instant quote form that we have. I'll be giving you guys an update about that before long. But yeah, like I said, overall, first thing I noticed from the homepage is, and by the way, thank you for your service, of course, cannot, go without saying that. Like I said, overall layout is very, very neat. It's a very responsive, quick website. We can reload it here and you can see just how quick it took, literally less than half a second to load. That's going to be very good for your, SEO efforts, just from the standpoint of you can have everything technically in terms of the SEO side of things correct, but if your website loads and it takes longer, Google says technically 1 to 2 seconds is the recommendation, but what a lot of people have noticed is if it takes over about half a second to a second, then it's almost impossible to break page 1 to page 2 even. So that is a very good thing. And at first, one of the recommendations I was going to make, like I made, I believe in this past video, to Pyramid Pest Solutions or Pest Control, sorry if I got the name wrong, I noticed that you didn't have in your header a service locations tab with, all the service pages and all that. But then I saw here on the Pest Control Services drop down, you had service areas. And then from there, I noticed you have them listed out here. For your animal removal, you have each specific service area. And this is a unique way of doing it. I would have to dive in terms of, like, I'd have to look at your LinkTree, which would take some more time. If you want me to do that, the owner of this website, you can let me know in the comments. I can pull it up on, what is that, like Leapfrog, or I forget the name of the platform that I use for looking at your actual Linktree and whatnot. Because the only thing with having this type of setup, I am glad you have all of these pages made. That's going to help you big time with the hyper-local SEO of those locations for those search terms. However, they're not in your... Them not being in your header can sometimes, depending on who you ask and the whole, SEO side of things, can potentially, kind of ding you a little bit, make it a little bit harder to rank these pages. But like I said, if you want me to take a look at the overall Linktree breakdown on how it looks, let me know. We can, do that in another, like a follow-up video for you as well. But I do like at least that you do have these here. We can just pull up one for an example so everyone can see an example of one you have here. You have your, I don't know if this is a H1 or H2. We can pull that up here. So we go over to keyword density. So one thing I will say is I would add a little bit more content in here. I like to have at least 1,000 words just from my experience, preferably even 1,500. And again, when we look first and foremost at the keyword density, I do like that, pest control, removal, animal removal services, we're having some pretty good, keyword density with the most important phrases. Specifically on the one words, we can hop down to like 3 word and see. So yeah, pest control services, pest management, the name of the company, your options, your property. I would prefer, and this could be something, speaking of adding more content to the page, we want to bump, since this is an animal removal page we're taking a look at here, animal removal in Colleen, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. One thing we'd want to do here, I want to have the name of that city or town, mentioned enough to where that, let me scroll back up actually to the one word because I don't want to misspeak. Let's see here. Let's see where it is. So we can look at the keyword cloud too. Control, removal, pest, animal. So yeah, I want to have, it's way down here. I prefer that to be one of your like top 5 words when it comes to the keyword cloud. We can scroll back down to like the 3 word and 4 word. Another thing is like what I was getting to is I would like things hovering, around animal removal services. Preferably get that bumped up here, especially ahead of things like, explore your accessibility. There's just something, that's why I love this free tool. Again, this is SEO Quake. We've done a video about them on the channel once before. Very good free tool. It can give you an idea of, what needs to kind of be worked on, what is important that you want to have higher up, and what is not as important. Like I can guarantee these 2 here, maybe even 3, aren't this important. The prominence being almost around 50%, that's pretty high, where your animal removal services is at 43. I mean, it's not horrible, but we would like to have that closer to like 1% in terms of the density instead of a 0.75%. Again, just some minor tweaks that you can make, especially whenever you're adding, your content in. Because like we said, it has about 800 words or so. We'd like to have at least 1,000 to 1,500. And you can use things like ChatGPT, of course, to help make that a lot easier for you as well. Run that through, of course, an AI tool so it doesn't show up as duplicate content or unoriginal content, helpful content. Main thing is helpful content. Google's most recent update specifies that you can have as many words on a page as you want. If the algorithm doesn't see it as helpful content, it's not going to rank and no one's going to find it. So yes, you want to focus on total words, but you want to make sure that it passes that helpful content phase of everything. So speaking of the headings, getting back to that, which is why I got on SEO Quake in the first place. So I do see here you are missing a H1. So what you would want to do here is wait a minute, you do have a H1 here. I don't know why it's saying you don't have a H1. Maybe you have a blank H1. This is a very common, easy mistake. I do it even myself. I don't know if you're the one. Again, I always say I don't have like every single piece of info going into doing these like website breakdowns. I don't know if it's self-managed. I believe based on the footer, it may be managed by somebody, but either way, sometimes it's super easy to have a blank H1 heading. That would be like on WordPress, for example, that's your title. So if it's missing a title for some reason, or, there's just a blank H1 for some reason, it's a very common mistake. So that might be what's going on right here. Otherwise, you do have the H1, you have the H2s. I mean, you have proper overall, I would say, layout. Some of these you may want to actually classify as H3 potentially. We can take a look at it right here. So animal removal. So no, actually, this is actually laid out right. And this goes, again, back into adding more content. You could add some content, add some H3s under here, and then add, some more paragraph context, maybe some more lists, things of that nature. This right here, I would put, this could be an H3 right here, and then you have your list. So you would say some best practice. So what is this? Preventative and animal control services. So for this one, for example, just off the top of my head here, we could make this a H3, and you could say some best animal control preventative practices include. Again, just some people say, oh, that's keyword stuffing. Trust me, it's not keyword stuffing. You're sending the right signals to the algorithm, and you're plugging in a H3 there, which again isn't the end of the world. I'm just giving you, like I said, some off the top of my head ideas, and then again you can keep going and adding more content from there. Another thing I'd probably do is add some photos. Google has really started putting emphasis on videos, video content, image content, things of that nature. Even with like the Google business profile, they're wanting us to add, as they specify now, they want you to add as many photos as frequently as possible. So that alone tells me that across Google's platform, they are wanting a lot of original photo and video content. So I would add, if possible, add some of your own. By the way, don't do stock photos. I couldn't tell on the homepage if, I'm sure some of these are stock, like I'm sure this is stock. That's another thing you want to do. We can go over, actually I think I already have one of my web pages pulled up here. Let's see. So yeah, like this, for example, this is a photo. I actually want to edit this because I want it to be a cover. I haven't looked at this page. I have so many pages now that I have a bunch that are like neglected. But for example, one that I've been working with a lot recently is our Richardson, Texas page. You can see here, of course, this is me. This is our video. Like it's not a stock photo or stock video. Again, we have another original photo. Try to get some kind of photos, videos, even if, the quality doesn't, obviously better quality is going to give you better results, but if nothing else, just get out there. Literally, this video was shot with an iPhone 12, I believe at the time was what my wife had, or maybe 13. I think it was a 12, but either way, 12, 13 is about the same camera. That video was shot with just an iPhone 12 in our backyard that we were living in at the time. Same thing here. This was literally shot in our kitchen, just pretending, spraying inside. Just get creative with it. Have the wife or have the husband, whatever the case may be, help you out. Or if you want to, if you have the funds, go ahead and pay somebody to get a solid, 25 to 50, maybe even 100 photos and videos overall. Some stock photos occasionally, like these, aren't the end of the world. It's just when it comes to you and your brand, I can't stress enough. I could go on a whole tangent about building a brand, but the main thing is again, trying to get rid of as many of like the stock photos and videos, which goes into adding them to those pages as well. And the next thing, of course, is you do have all of your services listed, which I do like. That goes off of as well with the service areas. You have the same thing there, which is what I've always suggested as well. You have your removal services. You have your FAQ, which I didn't dive into the FAQ a whole lot. That's one point that I wanted to make on those service pages. So you have your basic FAQ, right? One thing that you want to do within those, regardless of what service page it is, this ant control page, for example, you have your ant control, which is, it looks pretty good, but you don't have a FAQ in here. Put a FAQ on every single page, not your homepage. I mean, you can put it on your homepage if you want. It's not the end of the world. But any other page that has content on it, be it your service pages, location service pages, blogs, even video pages, whatever page you're putting on, go ahead and put some kind of FAQ on there. I've noticed personally, and specifically with like those service area pages and service area location pages, or not service area location, service area service pages, whenever you hyper focus, hyper localize that FAQ. For example, I might have one pulled up here on my Richardson, Texas page. Let me see. I better. Oh, I don't think I do right now. Do I? No, I don't. I need to add one on here. I know I have a page with a very hyper local. Oh, there we go. Yes, I do. So how much does pest control cost in Richardson, Texas? How much is pest control service per month in Richardson, Texas? How often should you spray outside of your house for bugs in Richardson, Texas? See how it's all hyper local to the Richardson, Texas area? And ideally, even when it comes to like your review block, if you can have example, I would ideally have just Richardson, Texas reviews listed, but that's not the end of the world. At the end of the day, the main thing is just, trying to localize that as much as you can with your H1s, H2s, H3s, FAQ, everything of that nature. Even, believe it or not, your image URL, video URL, alt tags, things of that nature. As you can tell, it gets very, very technical and involved. It sounds complicated, I'm sure, but if you manage your own website or you've even barely gotten into it, you probably have somewhat of an idea of what I'm talking about. That will help you big time here as well. And then I do see here you do have an image gallery. So apparently you have already started like taking some photos and maybe even some videos as well. Nice raccoon catch there, by the way. I love catching raccoons. They're hilarious whenever they run out. Same things with possums. I didn't even know, by the way, just a little tangent here. I had no idea, which is kind of dumb on my part. I should have known better. But I didn't realize possums will literally. I had one that we caught recently. That's the reason why I'm even bringing this up, because I saw the raccoon and it reminded me. I had a possum, and I never seen a possum. I always see them on ground level, right? I know that they can get in attics and things of that nature, which makes it funny that I didn't even think they could do this. But I let this possum out a while back, and that mofo just bolted right out and just ran up 20 feet up a freaking tree, just like bear crawled up it, super quick. I mean, one, I didn't realize how quick those bad boys are. Two, just the I mean, it was cool to watch and all this. I was like, damn, I wish I could have recorded that. I'd have put that on my, pest control channel, and because we have, of course, our preferred pest management YouTube channel as well. But like I said, a little tangent there. It was just funny to see that live. But yeah, you do have some photos, and I'm sure you have some videos even as well. So going back to what we were talking about there, don't be afraid to like use those on across your entire website. I'm not saying every single web page that you have needs a different photo. For example, that photo I showed you a little bit ago, one, I use this video on like almost every page anymore. And then also this photo, I use it like everywhere as well. So it's not like you have to have different videos and photos for every single page. The more the better, of course, but work with what you got. And then as you're in business longer term, customers start taking photos and leaving photo reviews, things of that nature, you'll start gathering, more and more photos and videos as well. So yeah, other than that, I believe that's pretty much it for this quick little website audit. Like I said, overall, again, I really like the layout of the website. It's very quick. I mean, lightning quick. I mean, of course, internet connection will, it could hinder that for some people, but like, just look how quick, these pages are loading. I mean, we're talking 1 second or less that these pages are loading. I mean, they're very, very quick. Main thing that like I said, if you want like a kind of just a recap, a quick list of things to do, first thing I would do is get rid of stock photos. Like I said, some like this bat, for example, not the end of the world, but get rid of as many stock photos as you can and replace them with some of your photos and videos like you have in your gallery. Add FAQs to every single page possible. Make sure, like we were talking about with SEO Quake, one, go into SEO Quake and analyze every page you have, inside and out, the internal, external, density, page info, everything. Like we said, check for the H1s. Make sure there's no empty headings or anything of that nature. And like we said, if you have that Screaming Frog, I think I called it Leapfrog, Screaming Frog SEO. One, it's free. Go ahead and download it to your desktop. But also, like we said, go ahead and pull up your LinkTree. Or like I said, if you want me to take a look at it as well, we can do a follow-up video. We could try to schedule, to do that at some point for you all. But take a look and make sure that your service area pages aren't too far down the LinkTree, because you want those are what are going to be the most likely. Like I always talk about, let's just say pest control. I think yours was Killeen, Texas. So let's just look at Killeen, Texas, for example. Pest control, Killeen, Texas. Let's see, Killeen pest control, Orkin. So as you can see, all of these are the service location pages. These aren't the home pages or things of that nature. That's hilarious too, that their name is literally Killeen Pest Control. They found a little hack there in terms of SEO, but like we said, a lot of it, one, of course, there's going to be lists of like 10 best pest control companies, 5 best pest control companies. But when you start looking at the actual pest control companies, they're all their service location pages. See the breakdown here? Homepage, service location page. So see how that is the second highest priority page, if that makes sense. That would mean, see how you go Endeavor Pest Control, areas of service, Killeen Animal Removal. What you would ideally like it to be is endeavorpest.com / the service location / like it would say / Killeen, Texas Pest Control, or, whatever the case may be. And then / whatever, Killeen Animal Removal or whatever the case may be. So like I said, definitely take a look at that and Screaming Frog. That'll help you big time. Again, I know a lot of this, don't think you're going to just make all these changes overnight. Just do it as you can. Do a little here, do a little there. Or like we said, if you have a company doing it for you, just send them the list of everything we talked about. And maybe even get some feedback from them. Because, if you're paying somebody to do it, they should have even more expertise than me. Again, I'm just going based off of my own experience, things that I've learned with hundreds of hours of research on YouTube, online, on podcasts, things of that nature. I don't claim to be like a website SEO expert or anything like that. I just know, again, this is what we're doing with our website. I'm not claiming that, every page on our website ranks page 1. I have plenty of pages that are like page 8, page 9, etc. that, are from like way back when I first started my website, and I need to go in there and, in all honesty, just kind of copy all the content, delete the old page, and just kind of restructure a new page for it. But I've learned a lot over the last 3 years just from kind of doing it myself, hiring a company here and there, learning from them what I can. I'm all about just kind of going through. I like to not know everything, but know enough about everything to be dangerous, is what I always say. Plus, it is a good thing for you to know. That way you can hold companies accountable, because over time, as you get busier with your pest control business, you're not going to have time to even do any of this stuff. So by getting in the trenches early on and learning everything, it will allow you to be able to have honest conversations, show to whoever is trying to sell you their service that, hey, this guy knows like about our industry. Like, we have to make sure to be on our shit when it comes to managing his website. It makes it where you don't have to stress as much about, is it worth the money? Am I getting screwed over? What should I expect? Like, just going through and learning enough to be dangerous and, going in there and doing what you can, it'll help you overall. You'll gain more skills as a business owner, but also, you'll get more business as time goes on. So hopefully you did get some valuable information, and everyone else who's watching this video is going to get some valuable information from this website Audit. Again, if you're new to the channel and you like the video today, do me a favor, give this video a thumbs up. It helps other people that, are looking to either start a pest control business, grow a pest control business, or simply just see how website audits look overall, maybe. Find the channel and find the video and things of that nature. And like I said, if you're not already subscribed, go ahead and smash the subscribe button below. Go ahead and follow the podcast as well. We actually just uploaded, speaking of which, a podcast exclusive that is going up this upcoming Monday. It's the 28th, Saturday the 28th at the time of me doing this video. That's going to come out, what would that be, Monday the 30th, right before Halloween, Monday morning. And it's a podcast exclusive. It's about a quick little 10 to 15 minute, I believe, podcast episode. So I appreciate you all, as always, watching the channel, supporting the channel, all that good stuff. If you're not in our Discord group, Facebook group, any of that, everything that I'm mentioning is in the link tree in the description box below. And if you have any questions, as always, don't hesitate to shout it out in the comments below as well. Otherwise, have a great weekend. Stay safe out there. God bless you all, and have a good one.